This is one of the most popular woodworking vices on Amazon. It's affordable, and it's decent. This vise works fine for lots of things. You can plane edges, cross-cut your lumber, and do detail work on small pieces. But this vise, and lots of affordable vices, has a big flaw. It's not very rigid. And you really notice this problem when you go to cut your first dovetails. The vise has guide bars, so you can't get your stock right next to the screw. You have to put it over on the end, like this. As you tighten the vise, the front jaw tilts, closing more on the side where it's empty. This is already bad, but it gets worse. The more you tighten, the more the vise lets go. I can't dovetail this piece. The vise just isn't gripping it tightly enough. This tilt of the vise jaw, this is called racking, and it's a problem with lots of affordable vices and even some shop-made vices. If you want a vise that won't rack at all, you might have to spend a lot of money. But what can we do with this vise? How can we make even a cheap vise work better? Woodworkers solved this problem a long time ago. This is called a rack stop. You can make one yourself. You just need a stack of wood scraps about 1/8 of an inch thick. You drill a hole through one end and use a dowel to hold your scraps together. When you want your vise to grip more evenly, you figure out how many shims you need and put them in the vise. When you put your piece on the other end and tighten, the pressure is equal on both sides, and your vise actually grips. The shop-made rack stop really works, and it's free, but it's also kind of a pain in the ass. You have to reset it for different thicknesses of wood. If you open the vise too far, it falls out, and then you have to set it all over again. The DIY rack stop is also small, and it's made of wood, so it's easy to lose. And if you drop it into a pile of shavings, you might throw it away by accident. I've been using one of these for years, and I never liked it very much. About a year ago, we decided to come up with something better. And today, we're releasing the Compass Rose Vise Block. It's a completely new way to stop racking, and it works really well. Instead of a stack of shims, the vise block uses a stair-step design. Using it is easy. Put your stock in the vise and tighten until the jaws almost touch the wood. Slide the vise block over until it stops. Tighten the vise fully. That's it. The pressure of your vise is equal, and your stock is rock solid. I can't even move it. Now I can cut my joinery. This stair-step design means there's never anything to adjust. When you slide the vise block over, it automatically stops on the correct setting. Is this piece 7/8 or 3/4? It doesn't matter. The vise block will hold it, even if I don't know how thick it is. And if I'm working on a project with different size pieces, the vise block readjusts automatically. You don't reset anything. You can use it with stock as thin as 1/4 inch and as thick as 1.5 inches. You can cut joinery on the end of a 2x4 if you want. I've done it. We made the vise block with this big shelf on top. So it just sits on your bench top and it won't fall off while you're not using it. When you're done and you need to store it, the vise block has a hang hole built in, and you can just hang it from the leg of your workbench where it's always in reach. It's about the size of your hand and it's bright white, so you're not going to throw it out by accident. And you might have a shop-made vise that needs a little help. I love traditional leg vices, but they can be tricky for joinery. The vise block will work with most leg vices, especially if it has straight sides. If you have an angled vise like mine, you'll need to cut a small notch in the left side. It's a little modification. I did it in 5 minutes, and it works great. The vise block is very different from our other tools. For the first time, we've made something out of urethane. It's a light but incredibly durable material. Here's me standing on it, and I weigh 220. Didn't even bend it. The coolest thing about these vise blocks is that we made them right here in the shop. We cast each one out of 2-part urethane. My designer Lucas made silicone molds, and my editor Nate poured the urethane. Then I hand sanded every single one and added the finishing touches. So when you buy one of these, you're getting something that we made, and we're really proud of that. Anytime we come out with a new tool, we always like to talk about the competition, but
This time, there really isn't any. We invented this, and we patented it because there's nothing else like it. Now, Lee Valley does have a really nice version of that traditional rack stop. They replaced the wooden shims with nice pieces of industrial plastic, and theirs even has this twist lock thing to hold your setting. It's really nice. But you do have to set it and reset it for each piece of stock. It can still fall out of your vise. It can still get lost. The vise block has no moving parts, and it adjusts itself, and it's got a nice little hang hole, so you're not going to lose it. And even though Lee Valley's is really affordable, ours costs even less. When you buy the vise block, you just can't go wrong. Now, I know some people aren't going to buy a vise block at any price. Some of you probably never saw a shop-made rack stop before today, and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to build one of those. And we think that's a great idea. So we've created a full set of measured drawings that shows you everything you need to know to make one of these out of random shop junk. And the drawings are free too. Just go to compassrosetools.com/guides and you can download the free user's guide with the free measured drawings for making your own rack stop. And if you get to using the rack stop and you don't love it, well, we put a QR code right on the front of that guide so you can hit it with your phone and buy your new vise block without even leaving the shop. Anyway, whether you build a rack stop or buy a vise block from us, you can make that affordable vise work much better. And we hope you do. Good luck, and thanks for watching.